This is a Ramble and Roll, a punk rock podcast.
Okay, yeah, we are here with episode number 1 of Ramble and Roll. Last week was like a little taster for everybody to get to know us, and this week we're diving right in. So I am Mike F.
I'm Scott Richter.
And today we have a very special guest joining us. He's a bartender, a podcaster, an extremely good-looking man, and an even better friend. I am, of course, talking about our pal, Brenden Joseph Ferrara of Drunken Opinion Podcast, among other things. So
What's up?
welcome, Brenden.
Thanks for having me, guys.
I mean,
Thanks for being
with today's topic, we felt like who better to get than a fellow record collector who probably spends too much money on records.
Some would say hoarder.
Some
would
we'll get to
say.
that. We'll get to that in a little bit.
Some would say psychopath.
So before we get into the meat of the episode, though, like the real juicy stuff, why don't you tell us how you got into punk rock? So this is allegedly a punk rock podcast, so like you need to have the bona fides to be on here. So depending on this answer, we might just kick you off right away.
So I have to listen to punk rock.
I mean,
I gotta go.
I know
I don't know. It just started kind of young. Like I started listening to like what my aunt and stuff were listening to, which was like a lot of glam rock and stuff like that. And then, my teen years, I started to kind of you kind of go to the dark side if you're already kind of got a base in that area. So you start getting to the dark side, and that's when I started getting into like emo and hardcore and stuff like that. And then like, I think it was the first time I heard the Clash, like actually listen to the Clash, was when I was like, yeah, this is fucking awesome. Can you swear on this?
Yeah,
Does Canada allow that?
We're on dude, Canada, we smoke weed, we swear, we do everything.
I mean, we do that shit
It's just
here
like
too.
Colorado.
Yeah, we do whatever we want here. It's pretty weird. But yeah,
you
did I show you guys my new tattoo? So this kind of makes me a punk now.
No, you didn't.
Oh boy.
Oh,
we've got a Misfits tattoo.
Yes, for anybody listening on Spotify later or Google Podcast or Apple Podcast or whatever, our man Brenden now has the Fiend skull tattooed on his forearm.
Yep.
Better than the tattoo I have on my forearm.
Yeah, yours is not good.
No.
That's been blacklisted.
Wait, do we start saying names on this show? Is this the show that outs it?
No, I don't think we should say names.
I don't think that's very punk rock of you there.
I mean, it's our first episode. That's like, we have 19 subscribers.
Man's a teacher.
So once we hit 100 subscribers, we'll start naming names. I mean, if the person involved doesn't want to name the names, I don't think we should be naming the names. Like the victim of the person. Anyway, we're getting way off topic already.
The lead singer of a Boston punk band. Oh, you knew it was going to happen.
It had to happen at some point.
Anyway, so the Clash seems to be. I think Scott, you said that was like your first experience as well,
Clash
right?
Was it for me too? It was.
So you guys are legit.
A combat rock cassette.
I'm lame. Dropkick Murphys was my first like real foray into punk rock, so I'm pretty lame compared to you guys, I guess.
Who?
Yeah.
Is that a local band?
They're from Ottawa, right?
I mean,
Canadians,
technically yes, I guess. Having Brenden on the show is the biggest mistake we've made so far as a podcast.
So it's the first mistake?
Yeah.
I literally do this. All I do is talk shit on my other show, so get prepared, man.
Well, that's what
I think this is going to be a good time.
I know that's really why we wanted to have.
Now's probably a good time to I think now's probably a good time to really get into it here, and we kind of thought that today's topic would be record collecting, buying our first record. And Mike, I think, came up with a very creative way of putting that
you're fucking up the whole timeline because you're supposed to not outline because you're supposed to not know this. You're supposed to play it like we don't have an outline in front of us. You messed it up. No, I'm just
Whatever.
so
What's happening
without
right now?
consulting
Are
you,
guys
Scott.
fighting?
Yes. Start over.
Oh
Uh,
Do
no,
it
we're
again.
not.
Back to square one.
Do you guys actually
Take
have
two.
an outline? Because we don't.
I have like a rough outline of
There's
just
a-
stuff that we want to talk about, but nothing like in stone. So here was my line, my
Is-
great line
yeah.
that Scott fucked up by not following the outline properly. Without consulting you, Scott, I think I'm going to title the episode "The Cosmic Power of Buying Your First Record and the Inevitable Descent into Addiction."
So I think now's the time where we go around the table here and we say what the first record that we bought was. So Brendan, what was the first record you ever bought?
I don't remember, and I don't know if this is
Nice.
because of alcohol or whatnot. But the first, because I was off and on buying records for a long, long time because I didn't have a record player, and when I got one, it
Well,
was a shitty Crosley.
yeah, I'm going to interrupt
But
for a second, Brandon.
what are
Like,
you doing?
I want to interrupt. For any album, like first album you ever bought, doesn't have to be a record. Like any
Oh, Kisses
album you ever
Destroyer
bought.
on CD.
Nice.
I got it at New Bar
Nice.
Comics.
You, Scott, what was the first album you ever
That
bought?
I
with your own
bought
money?
myself with my own money was definitely Rancid's Let's Go.
Nice. Mine was like a 3-4-1 because I'm cool
Whoa,
and I'm gonna bring up
Moneybags
Dropkick
over
Murphys
here.
again. It was like it was like my Christmas money, and
He
there was like
definitely
a
didn't shop in
sale.
America because Canadian money isn't worth anything here.
It's true.
It was like a sale, so I bought like I had gotten Sing Loud, Sing Proud and the Warriors Code for Christmas that year or something. It was like when I was first getting into Dropkick Murphys, so I was like, I'm gonna go buy their other records or albums. So I went and I bought Do or Die, Gangs All Here, and Blackout, and I think I bought Live on St. Patrick's Day. It was like some deal at like HMV or Music World that they were having. So I got like the 3 albums for like $40 or 4 albums for like $40 or something. So yeah, those are like the first albums I bought with
What
like
a
my
bargain.
own hard earned Christmas money when I was a teenager.
Nothing wrong with that. That's not a bad buy.
Yeah, and like, cause I had owned other albums before, but I feel like there's a difference between like just owning an album that like somebody gave to you and like going out and like buying your first album. Like it's a totally different like experience. It's like the first time you're like, I picked this one, and not just like given something.
Yeah,
You're
here,
making
listen to
the-
this.
You
I
gotta
don't know.
make your own decision there, you know?
I did like pull some stuff out that I was like, oh, I bought this a really long time ago. And I thought you guys would kind of enjoy it. Curse of a
Let's see
Falling
what
Soul.
we got there, my friend.
Own it.
Oh, actually, that's really funny, Brendan, because
L Bar's
For those at
first.
home-
I too pulled out a Curse
Oh
of a
my
Fallen.
God.
I too have a
Yeah.
Curse of a Fallen Soul here.
You two
Is
nerds.
yours one of the is yours one of the color variants?
I do have it's white vinyl, I think.
Because I've got the pink one here.
Oh no shit! It wasn't that European or something like that.
Yeah, it was a European press.
Yeah, I got the white.
I have a white one somewhere as well. That's really funny. I also pulled out a red tattoos and scally caps. So
I have that
Oh.
too somewhere. I don't think
I wanted to be really cool, but I can't find my version. I have Curse of a Fallen Soul, but I couldn't find it quickly enough.
Well, you have it in the box set that you spend way too much money on, bud.
Yeah, I got that right there.
I think that might be one of
Um,
my favorite vinyl stories ever. Mike's
We should
too
tell that
drunk.
story,
He
but
spent
my
all of
God.
his money on the
what
box
did that
set
cost?
for
It was like
Mike's table.
$300 or something.
It's a lot of money.
It was not cheap. He also spent money on a Skinny Lister album, which
Did you really buy that?
yikes.
Did you really buy that?
She was talking to me, and I was like, I guess I'll buy a Skinny Lister CD for $5. And then Scott destroyed my property in the hotel room later, and I was very upset with
I
him.
used it as a frisbee. It was better off that way.
It's better off. Nobody should listen to
I-
that fucking band. That band is terrible. I don't mind saying these things out
Yeah.
loud. I know there's like 3
No, I
people
mean,
watching. That band's fucking terrible.
that was probably
They were so fucking bad.
the worst experience
John
of my life.
Kalakalaka, Who I A.
They played up here with like Frank Turner maybe 6 months later. They
Yeah.
played that. Oh my god, it was just as bad.
I don't know why that they get that cred. They must be really nice people. We haven't had that experience, but they
No.
must be
what
really
did-
nice.
What did she call us? Boring bastards?
The boring bastards. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Well,
I
that's
saw
what
Skinny
happens when you're
Lister-
just sitting there waiting for Ken Casey. You know, that's all you guys were there
I
for.
saw
That's why you're front row.
the pretty much. I saw like Skinny Lister and Dropkick did like another tour together like a couple years after that, and like they played a festival in Ottawa. And I remember being backstage and like I saw her and I was like, "Hey, do you remember me?" And she's like, "Yeah." And she like mimicked like leaning against a barrier, looking bored. So like we made an impression on her at least. And then I was like, "Yeah, I'll catch you guys set later." Because for some reason they were playing after Dropkick on like a side stage, and she's like, "No, you won't." And I'm like, "Yeah, no, I won't."
100%.
Yeah.
It's funny that that's the impression that she got, because like she had the same set every night, or they had the same set every night.
Right.
Like the banter in the crowd and stuff like that. Why would you expect a bunch of dudes that are sitting in the same spot every night to basically see the same headliner do the same set over and over again in hopes that they play something off of the first EP? I used to be there. I understand. But
It's a good question.
I just don't know why an opening band that nobody's really heard of would do the whole stage banter thing and like line by line, minute by minute would do the same show.
Yeah. Cause like Blood or Whiskey did the same set, but they didn't like do all the same exact stage banter and like theatrics like Skinny Lister did.
Theatrics.
Or like
The most theatric thing I remember Skinny Lister doing involved Nick Gold.
Yeah, that's right. Nick Gold's neck lost its virginity that day.
Okay. We're getting
You guys
way
are on
off track.
such a delay
So we talked
that it's not even funny.
Yeah, this Zencaster thing, it adds a delay, so I don't know if we're gonna keep using it, but it's like it's convenient for like the recording, but like for live, it's kind of the delay's a little extra. So we'll
It's
see.
pretty hard. I'm trying
The
to.
audio works all right.
Yeah, I'm definitely trying to learn with the delay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we had that issue last week as well.
I don't know. Did you guys pull anything else out?
I have a few others. Yeah, for sure.
Well,
I've got one.
not really.
I got one here. I think you might GA here. I've got an original pressing of the Generation X record here.
Yeah, I got one of those too. I bought it not too long ago.
I found mine at a record shop here in Burlington a bunch of years ago, and they never have good punk records. And so when I saw that there, I was like, this is 100% coming home.
Yeah.
There's no way around that.
I got this is one of my most
really
more
good
recent,
shape, and like
this is one of my more recent purchases. Agnostic Front live at CBGB, like from the 80s, not like the newer one.
Not the Bridge 9 release.
No, this one's I forget the name of the label. Harder or In Effect, Harder Than You. I don't know. Yeah, it's the one from like the 80s that they did with like, I think when like Roger was like not very long out of prison. But yeah, it's pretty good. I think I might have paid too much for it. I don't know. But I wanted to buy it to support.
Is
like
that the one that
What?
Is that the one that ended up on a CD that was like half of a Discipline set and like half Agnostic Front? Because
I have no idea.
Definitely had that at one point, and definitely never listened to the Agnostic Front side and spent all my time with Discipline because they were awesome.
You don't really have to listen to an Agnostic Front record. They're going to come to your town 6 times a year. You just go to the show.
You gotta go, if you will.
I pulled out one of my favorites, Stiff Little Fingers, Alternative Ulster, the OG single.
Nice.
I love.
I almost brought out
old-
a Straw Dogs.
Oh, I do have Straw Dogs too. I love the old English covers because they're like textured and kind of weird.
Yup.
But yeah, on Rough Trade.
I had a bunch of those pulled out
Yeah, I like English stuff better
because
than
I
American
got
stuff.
like when I started collecting vinyl, I started all on 7-inch stuff, and so I
Well,
had a massive
as you
collection
do
of
with the
7-inch
bands.
records that
Yeah.
yeah,
So actually,
like
that's a good segue into the next question. But first, this isn't very punk rock, but I found this in like a bin of records my parents bought at like an auction, and it's like an old Johnny
Mahones.
Cash. No,
The Mahones
it's actually
original reel to reels.
it's It Ain't Me,
From-
Babe, Johnny Cash with what's the other side, Time and Time Again. So it just like there was no sleeve or anything, so
Nice.
I have to like find some sleeves to put these in. But yeah, that was I found that the other day, and I was like, oh, cool. It was in among like
That's a pretty cool one.
yeah,
that's nice.
it-
I have a
bunch
couple
of-
Stray Cats records that I got that came that way. No sleeve, no nothing,
Mm.
and I'm just like, all right.
So Scott, that was a good segue,
Yeah,
but
see, I
I
can't
messed
do-
it up. Sorry, Brandon, go ahead.
That's okay.
You know,
See, this is the delay issue coming into play again.
the delay's killing me right now. I talked.
There is a raise hand function. I don't know if we should start using it.
Oh right, I forgot about that.
Yeah, I
Like,
got
one
one
of us
too.
wants to interrupt. Okay.
Fox.
Never change, my friends. Never
The
change.
second question on the outline was
I thought we
so-
weren't supposed to talk about the outline.
all right. The outline doesn't exist. The second question we wanted to discuss, or second,
Don't talk about.
slightly related, was so we talked about first albums you owned. We already kind of got Brandon's answer, but first record you owned. So Brandon doesn't remember because he's old. I think he said was the reason.
That's my answer.
Oh, I have that TV Party. That's the first one
Yeah,
you
it's
bought.
an original TV party that I found for like $10 at a record shop in Waterbury, Connecticut. Brass City
Ew.
Records.
Sticky.
Yeah, not a great place, but it's better than Hartford, you know?
I mean,
Yeah, you get
Most things
shot
are.
there.
um,
I'll be in Hartford next week.
For what?
My girlfriend's from Connecticut. We're going back home for a couple days. Going to see
Oh,
mom.
she's from
Oh.
Connecticut? I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
Farmington. Raise up.
Oh, shit. I
Yup.
know Farmington. I haven't been there in a long time.
A lot of whites.
A lot of money, too.
You gonna
Yeah,
go
I
and give
wish
a
that was her
Barry,
situation.
give Barry Square the old drive-by, see how she's doing, how the area's doing.
Just go hang
Barry
out.
Square
and be
gets
like,
enough drive-bys.
Pour
my
one
friends
out
got
for the
robbed here
homies.
once. When I started really collecting
double
again,
foot.
this is kind of like remembering buying your first record, but it's OG Press, My Chemical Romance, 3 Chairs for Sweet Revenge. That's the
All
first one I
allowed.
really remember buying when I got back into vinyl or started my own collection. In 2003 was a long
Yeah.
time ago now.
Yeah.
Oh, I
I'll
can't
allow
talk
it
about
'cause
emo here.
I love it.
Jesus.
No, I love MCR. I love that.
That's
album,
crazy.
So, the fact that Riot
They're
Fest
not,
announced
they've never really been my thing.
they honestly I like them more now than I did in high school. Like in high school, I was like, yeah, MCR is okay, and like now I'm like, I love MCR.
Oh, they're
And
so
now that
good.
Riot Fest announced and now that Riot Fest announced that MCR is like playing this year, if it happens, I'm like tempted to buy tickets just on like the off chance that like the borders are opened and I can go. But
I'll be there.
you're going?
We have
Well, it's a little
we
bit
bought
simpler for
tickets
you.
ages ago.
Yeah, it's like it's
Yeah,
been
that's
simpler for
true, I
you. Like
live
if you're
here.
closer, the border issue isn't there. I'll see. Anyway, my first
They've never been my thing, but I used to date, like a long time ago, I used to date a girl who like grew up in South Jersey and used to see them play at like, you know, VFWs and shit like that. And
All
so like
About
she used to go to Denny's with those guys.
that's pretty
Weird.
cool.
They're still weird.
The first album I owned, I didn't actually buy. So I had a friend who
Again,
had like a
money
very
bags, dog.
no, like I had a friend who had very expensive hobbies. Like he liked to go skiing. Like you know, he enjoyed snow. So I lent him some money once because he needed it for rent because he spent it all on recreational activities, including
He's
cocaine.
talking about nose snow.
Yeah, a
Are
little
you talking
nose
about nose
candy.
beers? Nose candy?
Yeah, so and we were like 18, 19. So like and he was like
You
working
can't
and
make
basically
that
spending all
joke.
his
You're from
money
Canada.
on what? Why can't I
You
make that
can't
joke?
make that. Yeah, because it's a snow joke. There's a lot of snow in Canada.
Oh my god. I was wondering why you guys look so confused. I was like, is that not
Yeah,
like a
we're like,
regular like
like, where are you
euphemism
going
for
with this?
cocaine?
Yeah, you guys went skiing.
Anyway.
Yeah, you had to go to the grocery store.
Anyway, he owed me like $300 because he had to like pay rent or something.
He had to
And
pay
I
the
was like,
lodge.
yeah, I was generous enough to give
New
him,
lift tickets.
I was generous enough to give him the money, and like he can never pay me back because he's always spending all his money on drugs. So one day he just like gave me a guitar and like 3 records. So he gave me like a Squire Strat, and then he gave me like an original Canadian pressing of Rocket to Russia and like a couple other Ramones albums. So like those were the first records I ever
Nice.
owned. Was like to pay off a drug debt, I got an original Canadian pressing of Ramones Rocket to Russia.
Straight out of a Letterkenny episode. Jesus.
How much Canadian Tire money is that Rocket to Russia worth?
Oh god, it's got to be worth at least 500 cents. I don't know. All the Canadian Tire money is in pennies. It's weird.
You guys still have pennies up there? That's good.
No, we don't. But like Canadian Tire money still does have, and like it's paper money, so it's like a paper 1 cent Canadian Tire bill. But they're switching to electronic.
That
so.
sounds. That sounds
But
like a waste of
their
time.
coins are dollars and $2. So yeah.
It's fascinating the currency system differences between countries.
That's not that bad.
It's pretty unbelievable. But do
Okay.
you think that like when you bought that MCR record, Brenden, do you think that kind of like changed the whole trajectory for you again? Do you think that like you got super deep into record collecting through there again? Do you think that changed your life in some way?
Yeah, now I carry around like fucking thousands of pounds of shit wherever I go. Like,
Made moving across the country a little more
I
difficult?
absolutely love records, but this is something that you absolutely need to love, and the people around you need to understand that. And it's like I'm very selective now too about what I buy. I don't just go on like Reddit and be like, oh shit, I have to pre-order this. I have to pre-order this. Like I think I might have one pre-order that I'm waiting for right now. It used to be like Christmas every day. So I stopped that, which is great. But now I'm selective. I only buy stuff that I want and like really want. Like I don't like I have one Dropkick Murphy record, like an LP. That's it. I got rid of all those. And that's, one of our favorite bands.
Yeah, I remember.
but
'cause you
Which
didn't
one do
want-
you still have out of curiosity?
Live at Fenway because I'm on it.
That's a good reason.
Oh, all right. I remember
Yeah.
those shows.
Yep.
I
I'm
remember
on
when
it,
you were selling
so I
those
kept that one.
Dropkick records, and you wouldn't you wouldn't sell it to me because you wanted to charge like full price for them, and you didn't feel comfortable charging me full price for them. So you're like, I don't want to sell them.
Yeah,
to
I still don't want to do that.
you.
Daniel came over my house. It was probably right before I moved. He came in town for the Boston shows, and I was trying to sell him a bunch of shit. And I'm like, I can't charge him full price. I'm like, the kid lives in fucking Austria. He came all the way over here to watch fucking shows. So I gave him a pretty decent discount on stuff. I don't want to fucking
I see how it
gouge 'em.
is.
Yeah,
Right, you're not gonna
Canada's
rip off your
Canada's
friends
just above. All right, he had to get on like a really long plane ride. You can take a bus.
Well, that's like I remember I was looking for the Kings of Nothing fight songs record this summer, and I did not ask you about it.
Yeah,
And
I have a
spent,
couple copies of
I
that.
forget what I spent on it. I want to say, yeah, I spent like $50 on it. And then I said I was stoked about it on like Twitter or something, and you sent me a picture of like 3 or 4 of them, and you were like, "Why didn't you ask?"
Yeah, I found some random website a few years ago, and I was just kind of scrolling through their discount site or discount part of their website, and I saw it. I was like, no fucking way. So I was like, all right, how many copies do they have? And it was like 6. So I was like, fuck it, I'll buy them all. They're good for
Well,
trading.
and those records are all they go for a pretty penny now. I mean, fantastic band.
Oh, absolutely. They're definitely one of the
just
best
going back to what
that
you
came
said,
out of
Brenden.
Boston. What?
Yeah, I put on fight songs all the time. But yeah, sorry. Yeah, this delay thing is really annoying. Going back to what you said about like you only buy records you want. Like the other day, I was on Bandcamp and like the Peelers are putting out like a new record, and I like the Peelers. They're like friends of mine. Dave is coming on the show next week to promote the new album, and I was on like the Bandcamp, and I was gonna order like all 3 variants of the record, and I was like about to press checkout now, and I was like, do I need all 3 variants just because they're for sale? So I didn't buy all. I just bought one because I was like, I'm just gonna listen to it. I don't need all 3 colors like in my collection. It's like that compulsion that you always have to fight. I
No,
think.
that is definitely it became a problem for me for a little while. Like I still like again with My Chemical Romance, every time they do another pressing, I always pick it up because they shoot up to like $300 no problem. So hopefully in some realm vinyl will be currency and I'll be able to buy a house.
Well,
or
that's like I
something.
remember when after we saw Battle Rooms a few years ago, you and DJ went to Tasty Burger, and the joke was that you were going to pay for our dinner with the Battle Rooms cassette you had bought.
It's true because I bought like 4 of them. They go great in trades. People are like, "Oh shit, you have that?" I was like, "Yeah, I was at the fucking show. I don't remember it because I was drunk." Who?
Didn't you buy a bunch of tickets to that show for all of us, and like then none of us could go,
Something like that.
or like
Yeah.
yeah, like, you bought some like for I know you bought one for me, and then I couldn't go, but I'm pretty sure you bought like 4 or 5 tickets, and then like half of us ended up not being able
I think
to attend.
Tui did the same thing. He bought a bunch of tickets and nobody wanted to go. But the show was booked a year out.
Yeah,
It was literally a year out.
But they wanted all the Europeans
'Cause
to come and spend their money.
Seriously, I remember there were like people from Australia at that. Like
Yeah.
that was kind of a big deal because that
I
was
think
the first time they
Daniel
had played in North America.
Daniel was
came.
there too,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
he was.
Yeah, Daniel came.
Yeah,
It was like
he
me,
was.
you, Daniel, DJ.
That was I think I
Um,
remember which night it was, but I can't remember honestly. There's a couple of randoms in there that I'm just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and it was like Fit for Abuse played that.
Yeah,
it was a
okay,
good
now I
weekend
know
all
which
around
night it
the night
was.
before.
Now I remember that one. Because I kept on going to the merch booth and being like, you guys almost out yet? I want to know if I should buy any more.
Let me get another round.
Yeah, I got this one from that show.
Didn't they
repress of the
press that
single.
exclusively for that show?
Yeah, that's why it's in
Yeah.
a hard plastic case.
Yeah.
I know this one you can't find anywhere. The Trouble. This is from their first reunion
Oh.
shows.
Oh man, yeah, I was looking for some Trouble
I just
records on Discogs, and like, yeah,
Good luck.
the,
Those are
the
getting.
only Trouble record I have is that Shadows of the Street like anthology, if you will.
Oh, the test press that DJ hooked us up with?
It's not a test press. It's not a test press, the one I have, but
Oh, I don't know.
yeah.
I know I have I have almost
But it
everything.
is one from the This Is Hard. It is one from This Is Hardcore though.
I think that's the test press version or something like that.
Oh, okay. Oh, beats me. I didn't pay too close of attention to it when I bought it. I was just so stoked to find it somewhere.
You guys want to know how much I spend on vinyl and how crazy it gets sometimes?
Yes.
Let's do it. Let's figure this out.
When you get into an eBay bidding war with someone for
Is that an original bullet?
Yeah.
How high'd that go? I don't even want to know.
It's so stupid. I can't say.
Dude,
You
Pete
just
Morrison
said
from
you
Forced
would.
Reality's been posting about all this stuff, and these things are going for like $3,000.
I didn't spend that much. This was a long time ago. It was still stupid. But fuck it. I love it. And then this was
Yeah.
another one too. This is I'm
Of
fine.
Nice.
course.
Yeah.
I'm fine. Rent for
So-
3 months? Anybody?
So so Brenden, since you're like so willing to spend exorbitant amounts of money on records,
I love spending.
what's like the
money.
most coveted record that you don't own but that you want?
Hold on. My wish list on Discogs is like absolutely ridiculous.
Okay, maybe while Brennan's pulling that up, Scott, what's your most coveted? Or do you have it?
There's two for me. There's so before the Toy Dolls were the Toy Dolls, they were called the Showbiz Kids, and there's a 7-inch that's She Goes to Pheno's, and I want that very badly, but it's almost impossible to find. And then I think really the second one that I'd really love to be after is an original pressing of "We Love You" from Coxbar.
That's a tough one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I've gone after it a couple times and it's not fun. You just
No,
keep on going. Well, that was $1,200. Thank God I didn't do that.
yeah. I've come up short a few times. That's for sure, and extremely short.
Okay, I have
Well, that's-
two. I have two. Prince's Black album that
Oh shit!
he pulled from the shelf. Like they only did a promo pressing of it, and not too many got out there. Because he turned to God that week or something, and he didn't want this album that had like obscenities and profanity or whatever the fuck on it. So they destroyed most of them. So getting an original copy is really tough. But the other one is the original Teenage Kicks.
Oh,
It's hard to get.
I
that
don't
one.
think I've ever seen a 7-inch of that.
It's there's a bunch of
like
copies.
it's weird because some of those. That delay sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, the delay's
My
really
two,
weird.
or yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, I don't know. I was thinking like the first Minor Threat 7-inch. Like I was looking at that the other day on Discogs, and it's a hefty price tag on that one for me.
It would
And
feel good though.
it would. And one that's more
Oh, it
attainable.
feels so good to have that record.
I just haven't bit the bullet on yet. Isn't like a original Ramones self-titled. Those aren't too bad. So I just like one day maybe I might buy it. We'll see.
The
But,
Ramones
like,
one
there's-
isn't that expensive, but it's getting harder to come by.
Yeah. There's
Like, you'll
actually a
find it
crazy
for, like-
story. Sorry, go ahead.
What's that, Mike? Sorry.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, there's this other podcast I listen to called No Dogs in Space. It's like by the host of the last podcast on the left, and they did a series on the Ramones, and it's Marcus and Carolina. They're like husband and wife, and Carolina, she has a story about how she was at like some random church garage sale in L.A. and she saw a Ramones like self-titled LP, and she just bought it randomly for like $3, and then she brings it home. And Marcus looks at it and he's like, "You just got an original pressing of the Ramones self-titled for $3
That's
at a church
ridiculous.
garage sale." That's what I'm dreaming for. Something like that to happen to me.
Yo, that doesn't happen often when you get something, but when you do, that boner you have is outrageous.
It feels good. One of my friends handed me like 3 or 4 months ago pressing of Fresh Fruit for Rotting Vegetables, and I brought it home, and it ended up being an original pressing, and I was like,
Yeah.
"What?" He was like, "I don't
I've-
listen to it, so you can have it."
Thanks,
Sean.
sucker.
It's okay. He sold like a few years ago. He took a job on a cruise ship, and when he play drums in a cruise ship band or whatever. And when he left, he sold a bunch of his records, and he ended up selling like 4 or 5 of my records to a record shop here in town. And I absolutely lost my shit on him.
Yeah, he's dead now.
So-
That sucks.
Nah, he's out recording in California in the same studio that Green Day recorded like Nimrod or whatever.
Yeah, I've been to California once.
Me too. I hated it.
I've never
That's
been.
always one of those funny things. It's like, oh, we recorded at the same place that the Foo Fighters did their last record. Yeah, you're not gonna get the Foo Fighters love, man.
No. That's what when people try and use that as like a bragging thing. It's like I could go book that place tomorrow. Like it's a business. Like lots of people record
Right.
in those
All you gotta do is
studios.
spend money.
Like you're not gonna have any. You're not gonna
Oh,
sound like Dave Grohl isn't gonna magically be on your drum tracks because you recorded in the same room as him.
he farted in that room. You could get some of that magic, you know.
Like
His
prime
DNA
example.
could be in there. He might have spat somewhere.
Prime example. So the studio re-recorded the first Skelly Cat Brats album at. It's like this. This is a guy in Ottawa. His name's Yogi. He runs House of Targ, or he's one of the co-owners of House of Targ now. But he has this recording studio in his basement. He has a ton of sick gear, and he has a green amp. Like the guy who was like it was like the founder of Orange or somebody who worked at Orange like left the company, and he started making amps called Green. And the one that Yogi had used to be owned by ZZ Top. It was a ZZ Top amp that they had brought on the road with them, and eventually they sold it, and it ended up with Yogi. So like, there's some. So that amp is on the first Skelly Cat Brats record. It's still a shit record. Like it
I
doesn't
did
sound.
not hear LaGrange on that record.
Yeah. Like, it didn't help.
You guys might have been a bunch of sharp dressed men, but like, come on.
It's the amp itself sounded great, just like everything else didn't.
Jimi Hendrix farted next to this guitar once.
Yeah, it's yeah. That's my old
Eric
man
Clapton
rant.
said a few racist remarks by this drum set once.
Yeah. Yeah, that's like
I
Oh my God.
believe there's some like good juju with gear and stuff like that. Like I think
There
there's
is.
some truth to it. Like,
But, like-
that's there, but like some of the people that I know that stretch it, I'm just like, no.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's not a thing. Like I recorded at a place back home in Attleboro, and the tech there, who was a really super nice guy, and he was really connected. I think he was like the original drummer for Godsmack or something like that. Really nice dude. And he goes, "Hey, do you want to see something cool?" I was like, "Yeah, fucking always." He goes, "I have Steven Tyler's microphone." I go, "That's kind of gross." And he's like, "No, Sully from Godsmack's using it." I go, "That makes it even worse." I'm like, that has the saliva of a guy that adopted a 14-year-old girl to marry her. I just don't like. There's just like, I don't know. Nothing impresses me when somebody's like, "Oh, Aerosmith's here." I'm like, "Oh, cool. I'm gonna leave."
Yeah. That's like
I mean, Godsmack. Like, what are we gonna catch them on tour with Trapped next week or something? Like,
Yeah, New Hampshire's finest. Ooh,
I was like yeah, I had an anecdote and I lost it. Oh, yeah, I was looking at one day I was just randomly looking at like what it would cost to go record at the blasting room, because I was like, and how much it would cost to like get Bill Stevenson to like record you. The answer is a lot. But I was looking at their
Yeah.
gear page, and like you can use the original Black Flag drum kit that Bill Stevenson like recorded with Black Flag, and I'm like, man, that is so cool. And I'm like,
Nervous Breakdown.
he wasn't in the band for Nervous Breakdown. I don't think. I think he did. He do
Oh wait,
Damage?
no, that he wasn't there that early. Yeah, I can't remember.
But he probably recorded a version of Nervous Breakdown. I feel like that recorded it. They recorded that song with like every singer they ever had. I think. But
Yeah, and I mean they cycled through so many members because Greg Ginn's a fucking asshole.
yeah. But like I remember like getting enamored with the fact that like I could go like have a recording with Bill Stevenson's like drums on it. Then I like thought about it a bit more, and I'm like, is that really worth thousands of dollars to go to Colorado Springs and have like there's other value in going there to have him record your album. It's not in using his old drum kit from the 80s.
He's in Colorado Springs?
I think so.
He's in Fort Collins.
Fort Collins, yeah. So,
Oh.
I knew it was something to do with Colorado.
It's just up the street. About 2 hours away.
See, so you could
So
go
it's not too
record
far.
on. You could go record with Bill Stevenson's drums tomorrow.
Yeah, where's the rest of your band? No, man, it's just me, dude.
I just want to play your drums.
I'm just gonna. It's just me. I'm just gonna play Nervous Breakdown over and over again until the time runs out. You know what I'm saying?
They tell me to get the fuck out of here.
Let's go. We got 45 seconds.
I mean, if you're paying,
Yeah, I'd be fucking
anyway,
stoked.
yeah.
Wait, I don't have to set up microphones. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to deal with
Yeah.
some egotistical piece of shit that's like, so I thought about putting the microphone in the toilet. I hear that's how the Ramones did their first record. Yep.
I hear that's how we got the Chosen few from Dropkick, but
What's the show? Which one's that? Do I know that song?
that's
that
it was on-
acoustic song that they put out like
on their
years
MySpace.
ago.
Oh, I couldn't tell you. I stopped
Yeah.
listening to the Dropkick Murphys after 2003.
You know, look at this guy over here. Cool guy. Too cool to admit he listens to Dropkick Murphys.
No, I just don't want to be hurt. That's what it is.
Looking at our
Sick of
list
being
of
hurt with terrible
questions.
music. Huh?
Yeah, that's fair. I mean,
I thought this was an ASMR podcast. What are we listening to?
I mean, it could be.
The background noise has just been my dogs. My microphone is hypersensitive.
I told you, man, you got to get a limiter or a noise gate. I mean, and a compressor.
I know.
Um,
I'm fully aware, but you know I've got to upgrade my other hardware to get there.
Means his penis.
the other. Looking at our list of possible questions,
That does
and
not
topics
need
to
an upgrade
discuss.
with you on the podcast, my friend.
Ooh.
I think did we already talk about our latest record purchases? I think we did, right?
No.
No.
Okay, let's do that. What's your latest record purchase, Brenden?
Funny you should ask. Harry Styles, baby.
Oh my god.
This shit's pure fucking gold.
I
hear that shit at work all the time.
Yeah, I hear it tastes like strawberries.
Is that a reference? I wouldn't know.
It's from the song, Mike. You should open up your ears and stop listening to the Mahones, all right, man?
Stop having so many great nights on the lash.
Yeah, man.
I just
Hey,
I'm
so
trying to
Mark
think of something to
does that, like,
say that
record of the month
won't get me in
thing.
trouble.
What do you mean
yeah,
won't
you have
get you in
the-
trouble? What you trying to say, son?
I don't want to get into it.
What? Do you want a copy of this? I'll send it to you for free.
No, I'm
Oh
good.
wow,
It's not worth much anymore, if you know what I mean.
that's got negative value these days. Probably.
I bought speaking of Dropkick Murphys, I finally bought the Back to the Hub 7-inch. It's in the mail right now.
Oh, that's cool. That's a good
Yeah.
record.
It was like a decent price too. Like
That's
with shipping all in, it was but like it was like a little bit below average of what it's been going for. So I was happy. So now I just need the Dropkick,
that's
or
the
now I
best
just need
part
the,
about Discogs.
the delay.
The Unity split, right? Is that what you need?
No, I have the Unity split. I just need the Ducky Boys split and the Bruiser split and Fire and Brimstone. And then I have all their 7 inches. So getting there.
But
mean
you
this
but you
one?
don't have the tie-dye cover Fire and Brimstone.
Mr. I only have one Dropkick Murphys record. Just happens
This
to
is a
have
7
Fire and
inch.
Brimstone.
This is a 7 inch. It doesn't
Oh,
count.
you were saying you only had one LP. Okay.
Yeah, LP. That's it.
Yeah,
It's
that
black.
one.
It's not that cool.
What color do you have? Oh, yeah, I got the black back to the hub. I wasn't paying like 3 times the price for the red. I think back to the hub is the expensive
Yeah,
one.
it's not worth it.
Red.
No. Same with Agnostic
Like
Front
10
split.
years ago, they weren't that expensive.
No.
They were
DJ
just
said
hard
he
to
bought
come
it for.
by.
Yeah, was it you? Was it DJ or you, Brenden, that bought it at the show for like $10?
I bought it at the show. Yeah,
Must have been you. Yeah.
because they did
Should have
it.
bought it.
I can't remember what
That
year
was
that
like
was. That 04?
2003 or 2004.
I think it was 2003.
Yeah, I think it was at like one. I want to say it was like Hampton Beach or something like that. I can't remember. But it was a one-off, and they had some left over. Because I think they sold out immediately on the old website.
I would imagine. Man, that old website
Because there's
with
only
like the message board was crazy. Were you guys on that message board, the Dropkick Murphys message board on their website?
No.
I
was
was not.
This is a good decision.
I can only imagine that it sounds and looks like the fans of Dropkick Murphys, that Facebook group.
Yeah. Well,
Oh,
the
God.
the one post that sticks out to me is some like Uber, like he claimed to be this like old school skinhead guy, and he's like, yeah, one time this kid at a show said that his favorite song was Drinking Fight, so I kicked his ass. I'm like, that for some reason that post sticks out to me as like when I stopped
And that
going on the
person was
message
Dave
board.
Engelman.
Shit,
Shout
we're
out,
dropping
Dave.
names, dropping names.
Okay. Oh God, this is a train wreck. This one might not go up on the Spotify.
Oh, stop it.
You
Don't be
gotta-
I'm
fresh.
trying to do a professional podcast with a professional production, not the old
Yeah, I
ends
understand
sitting
that,
around
but-
shit talking.
But you're talking to somebody that's done over 100 podcast episodes. So technically, this is your fucking way up.
Yeah, that's why we got you. I needed your clout. I needed to bring your clout in and get some of those drunken opinion impressions with Ramble and Roll.
Hashtag drunken opinion. Hashtag at bad drunks on Twitter.
Hashtag somehow
And something else.
We've been getting like
Oh,
20
no.
people engaged on like our Facebook posts, but like I posted like the little poster, like the promo poster of the picture of me drunk off my ass at House of Blues with you, and like that one somehow like 600 people saw that post. I don't know, and it was only shared like 3 times.
600?
Yeah,
It's because people like me.
I don't know how.
That's what it is.
It's the first time a picture of
mean-
me has gone up on Facebook new in years.
It's not even a new picture. It's from
What a night that was.
2015
Like-
or 2014.
I reposted that and like I got likes on it, and like my aunt was like, "Oh my god, congratulations!" I'm like, if you read the
saw
post,
that.
it says that I have a show. I was like, I have a show. You can listen to it every
Yeah,
week.
but
If you really want to know what's going on, or if you really want to hear me cry about how hungover I am all the time.
anyway, Brenden, congratulations for us asking you on to Ramble and Roll. I'm sure it's a great honor to be
Yeah.
asked here to do
Thanks.
this.
Really appreciate it. It's
Oh.
been a blessing.
So we talked about. I'm just trying to stay on track. I'm trying to keep this professional, keep this train rolling.
Outline.
It is. This is very professional. I'm very proud of you. You're doing a great job.
Thank you.
It's very well written. I'm sorry for cursing.
I mean, the cursing doesn't bother me. Favorite record in our collections. So let's go around the virtual table again. Favorite record for whatever reason. It could be rarity. It could just be sonic quality. It could be anything. What's your favorite record in your collection?
Scott.
I'm going first. Well, I'm just gonna go with the record that I mentioned earlier and just say fight songs all day.
That's a quality record.
I spend the most time with this record, and it's 100% related to the fact that it does not exist on Spotify. It does not exist like anywhere that you can stream it. So when I'm sitting at home, that and probably actually not to piggyback off your Descendants talk earlier or Bill Stevenson talk there earlier, Mike, but probably Cool to Be You. I listen to that so much.
That's a good one. Brenden looks like he's still flipping through. So
I was just actually looking at that section. That's it, because I want to listen to records after this. I have to
did you have
pack.
yours?
I'm going to Boston on Saturday, so I got to pack stuff.
Condolences.
Yeah, everything's dead there, so it'll be fine.
There's nothing left.
No, I don't think there's anything left. You know, if he dies, he dies.
Tui.
Who? Never met.
Tui's left.
Who?
He's the only institution left in Boston.
I thought you were
yeah.
Tui.
Oh yeah, the ginger kid. He's all right.
Okay. Favorite record.
My favorite record all time is the Wu-Tang Clan's Enter the 36 Chambers. It's the greatest record ever. I know it's not a punk rock thing, but it is the greatest record of all time.
I mean, Wu-Tang's pretty punk.
Yeah, I guess. I mean,
see, I almost put up my 30th anniversary pressing of Paul's Boutique from the Beastie Boys with that because I don't know. I've been on a huge Beastie Boys kick for like the last 10 years, and that has pushed me further.
I think that just means you're a fan. I don't think that's a kick.
Fair enough. But that like pushed me down the hip hop rabbit hole a little bit, and so I've been after like trying to find a couple original pressings of like Gangstar records, and those things do not come cheap.
No, those are really expensive. They're kind of stupid.
Yeah.
A lot of the God damn it. Sorry, Twitch. I'm just trying to send text messages out.
My one Twitch.
Yeah,
viewer.
a lot of the hip hop stuff is really hard to get. Mike, we don't care. We know it's the Scally Cap Rats. Enter the.
I think he's
Ottawa
gone.
fifth.
I think it might be me because I have it open in another window.
Who's gone? Me? What?
No, Danny's gone. What?
Was there another person here the whole time?
No, in the chat. I thought that's what we were talking about. Oh my god, the Twitch viewers. Never mind.
Mike, your favorite record?
My favorite record. Well,
The Scally Cap Rats.
it's
Drink loud, dress hard.
it's technically like 8 records, but this bad boy, the Dropkick Murphys vinyl box set that I bought in Boston, Massachusetts for $230 American dollars when I had like $260 American dollars in my bank account.
With 5 days left to go.
Oh man,
This thing's heavy.
I've never
we all make
seen
those decisions.
I've never seen a human being that drunk make it. Not only through a rock show, but through the openers and the headlining set, and then somehow getting on stage for a stage invasion.
Right, because that was the second show of the day, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somehow
I think we had gone to the afternoon show.
He kept on.
Brenden,
buying
you didn't even
beers,
think I was
too.
gonna make it to that show.
No, because I saw you outside and I was like, get him away from me. I just was at work all day. I was like, I don't want to be bear hugged for the next 4 hours. Tell him to go away.
That picture, the infamous picture, I think, says
It's
another
from that
story.
night.
Yeah, I kept on
Yeah.
trying to get his beers out of his hand so I could drink them because I didn't want to go up to the bar anymore.
I mean, I could have been
I
passed
remember
out
that
and I
he
wouldn't
would
let you.
go back to the bar. Mike, you'd go back to the bar and we'd be like, there's no way. There's no way in hell. And somehow you wouldn't even come back with just 2. You'd come back with 3 beers.
Yeah, and that's not even that's a big no-no. I do remember he got lost in the crowd once, and we watched him from the bar, and then he kept on going straight to the soundboard, and then
I
this
remember
fucking
that.
6'6" giant Canadian man is just walking through the crowd holding up his PBRs. He's going, "Excuse me, I'm trying to find my friends." I was like, "What the fuck?" I was like, "Look at
I
him
came back with a
go."
slice of pizza too once.
Yeah, that means you went out to the lobby. Goodness gracious, that was funny. That was a fun night.
Eh. And the worst part about
That
that, or
was a
now
lifetime ago.
now that I'm sober and get to look back on all these memories, I was very in control for how drunk I was that night. I just want to point that out for point one. I was
That's
like
very true.
in control
In
and out
control
of
is
control. Number 2, I got
in
in.
control is not buying a Skinny Lister CD. Like that's not.
You
in
can
control.
forgive the box set, but the Skinny Lister CD is too much.
Yes.
So number 2,
Imagine
I
if you
did
got
2
to
stage
the-
invasions that day
Oh god.
because I did the matinee. That day we were drinking Jello shots in the lineup, and then I was drinking gin and tonics at breakfast. So I was like, by the matinee,
Do
I was
remember
wasted.
that
And number 3, I
Yeah,
remember
we know.
breakfast?
one guy got really mad at me, and he was like, "You think you own this place or something?" And I looked back at him, and he was like, he had like a good like 4 inches on me, and I just remember looking at him and just kind of like shrugging, and I just kept going. I was like, but yeah, and
I was
then
like, "Yeah, I fucking do."
and then PBS was there that night to record like the live show, and like they did that like interview documentary series. So I'm all over that documentary series in the live sections, just wasted. Like there's like shots of me in the crowd against the barrier, like passing out. Then there's a shot of me on stage, and I'm just sitting there like looking up at nothing, like like I'm like on a different planet. It's just that's there for all eternity on YouTube. So every time when I watch that, I'm like, oh yeah, there I am, just going.
Just doesn't know what song's playing.
And then the
He
band,
just
and then
keeps
Tim
on
Brennan
singing
made fun of
Shannon,
me
I'm
the
coming
next
home.
day.
Did he?
Yeah, he was when we went to that sound check thing the next day. Tim was like, "I'm pretty sure I saw this gentleman asleep against the pole last night," which I don't know.
The pride of Toronto.
Oh yeah,
The pride of Toronto.
That's excellent. I didn't know he said that's really funny.
yeah, he did. Yeah, and then Ken called me the Pride of Toronto right after that. And that's right after Matt Kelly joked that
Pride
they were
of
going to play a Scally
Toronto.
Cat Brat song. They were giving it to me that day. And then Al said he was going to punch me in the balls if I messed up the lyrics. I was just getting it from every angle. I'm surprised I made it to that soundcheck thing. It was
Yeah,
at like
they're
11. I went hard those
have
years,
no
man.
idea. That's when I really stopped paying attention to the shows, and I think I just showed up because like somebody had a ticket. I was like, "Yeah, I'll go."
It's pretty easy for
paying
us all
for
to
it.
get like free tickets. I think I only paid for like one show that whole week.
What year was that? 2015?
No, I think it was 2014. The next year was
Yes.
2015, the year that I was like we were selling like the Dropkick tribute CDs. So I got really wasted the first night that year instead, and like then I was pretty sober the rest of the week.
I think I gave you guys $50. I said I don't want the CD.
That's fair. That's fair. I remember
I
I was
know
going around
there's
the
one kicking
foundation.
around somewhere, but
I was going around the foundation room trying to sell it to people, and one guy's like, "I only want it if Joe Strummer's on it," and I'm like, "Well, he's dead, so I guess you don't want it."
Yes. Joe Strummer did all
But then I was like, "Oh
16
yeah,
tracks.
Joe's on here.
he played
Joe's
bass
on, here.
on all these.
Yeah,
Yeah, he played bass on there.
yeah. It's better than
He,
cut the crap.
that's true.
Oh, Brendan's leaving. What's he doing?
Where's he going?
What's
I
happening?
don't know.
Is there like a home invasion? Anyway,
I have no idea. It looks like he's looking for a record.
it's probably what he's doing. Yeah, I think next week we should maybe try like Google Meet or something and see if there's like less of a delay. Because it's kind of hurting the conversation.
That would be good. I think that would be a step in the right direction.
No, I wanted to find this. This is my other favorite record of all time.
Oh God,
My
is that
other
the one that I
copy.
signed?
Yeah, to Brenden.
To Brenden, to my number one fan.
To my number one fan.
It's a damn shame when your hero spells your name wrong.
Hey, it's okay.
dude,
I'm famous because I'm on the back of that record.
Yeah, you are. You've
Oh,
got
yeah,
like one of
shit,
the.
You are.
You got one of the few copies of
Oh.
that are out in the wild. I have most of them here in my basement still.
Yeah,
I
you
have
should
3 of them, I think.
Well,
I have another
nobody's
copy.
gonna
I
listen.
bought 2.
Yeah, you did, because I guess that's back when you were just buying things and not thinking about it.
I felt really bad.
Yeah, thank you.
I was like, wow, they can't afford a color pressing, so I guess I'll just buy 2. I don't know why it's so fucking dirty. I don't think I ever took this out of the sleeve, honest to God. No offense.
I mean, you must have
I
keep
don't
my
really remember
shit
putting this on.
in pristine condition.
Keep my
You
shit
probably tried to
tight.
burn it.
Who's this guy looking all fucking... Who's that?
I can't even tell. It's so blurry.
What do you mean it's blurry? Go fuck yourself.
I think that's Danny.
Is that who was on the show or listening?
I'm pretty positive that's Danny.
Wow, he's totally...
Beside the tattoo?
Yeah.
This guy.
Yeah, do we have... does everybody have to put a copy up?
Do you have your copies?
I'd
now?
have
Do you
to go
have a
to
copy?
another room to get mine, but
I have 200
he-
here. Do you want one?
No thanks. Oh, this got water damage on it. That's why it's dirty. Oh, that's a damn shame.
Oh,
I guess
no.
I'll just have to have you send me another one.
Spell your name right, maybe.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
spell it even
But
more
he's like,
wrong.
he's definitely posing for like, Oi Playgirl or something. He's just putting the sex in that picture on there.
I took that picture.
Did you really?
Oh, there it is. That's why.
Yeah.
Wow, maybe you should have done
I have
photography instead of podcasting.
I got an A in photography in college.
Is that
Not even a lie.
Is college, or is that like Canadian college where it's like 10th grade?
No, it was like a post-secondary institution.
That's a really proper way to put that.
Yeah, that's fucking
I just want
weird.
to
It's a
know
bit
my
proper way to do that shit.
credentials are very
Yeah, I
proper.
didn't go
eh?
to school. Didn't want to do that.
Good decision.
No, I just sit at now. I sit at home, collect records, and hang out on unemployment.
Yeah, who's laughing now?
So obviously, like in the last year with COVID, it's been a little more difficult to go out to record shops and stuff like that. But I
Nope.
think it's really easy. Yeah, see, like there's a couple here that are open, but they're kind of, I don't know, they're weird
So-
about things.
So,
And sorry, go ahead, Mike.
so are you guys going to like record stores still? That's what I was gonna ask. Like,
Oh yeah, all the time.
I pop into one here every now and again, but they rarely have anything good. So
I'm still like too paranoid. So like, I'll like buy stuff from the local shop and then just like go pick it up. But like, I haven't really gone into like record hunt and peruse. I don't know. I just feel anxious around people. So I just like, and like being in public. So I haven't really done much record hunting the last year.
I kind of think that was post-COVID though, or pre-COVID. I don't want to be near people either, and this is 6
Yeah,
feet
I
thing has
mean-
been fantastic.
That's fair. I guess I just feel extra anxiety about like hanging out in public spaces when I don't have to be. So I haven't done
Yeah,
much
I
record
think me and
labels.
Brendan are in a position where, because of what we do for work, we're around people so much that
yeah.
like
I don't. I'm not gonna say I don't care because that's really ignorant to say. But since they opened things back up, there's really no choice. So especially when you work in
Mhm.
the restaurant industry, like you really don't have a choice to not be out. So you're taking a gamble to begin with because if you're like, "Wow, I'm really COVID, aware, and I don't want to do that," they're gonna be like, "Yeah, good luck finding another fucking job."
yep,
Mhm.
that's the
Yeah,
position I've been in.
I guess I'm in like I have like the luxury sort of being able to work from home. So like I'm already like not really going out to begin with. So I feel like the less I go out, the better. Even though it kind of sucks because then I'm just like home all the time. But yeah, maybe it's just like since you guys are already forced to be out, you're like, well, I might as well like go to a record store and then, like enjoy that if I'm already like exposed.
But the problem with record stores here is all you get is Grateful Dead box sets and Fish records, and
You live in Denver too?
I mean, Burlington is just a smaller Boulder, man.
Yeah, it 100% is. I mean, my girlfriend's brother went to school in Burlington, and then he moved to Boulder.
That's what everybody does.
Yeah, you got to. I mean,
And like
Fish
the same,
Fish doesn't play Vermont that often, so you got to go move to Boulder.
I don't think they ever play here, and that's quite all right with me.
Yeah, they're a terrible band.
They're
Do you know
they're,
that? Like, do you
they're not good.
do you do you guys know like a band like? Okay, so over the summer, we were going like to thrift stores and stuff. When things started to open up, I found a Jimmy Buffett record. I don't like Jimmy Buffett. I think he's a piece of shit. Only for the mere fact that Margaritaville is probably one of the worst things that's ever happened in the recording history of the world. Um, but I didn't realize that he had records. Like I didn't realize that he did full albums. Do you guys have like an act or something that you're like, oh wow, they do have like other songs?
At this point, I'm gonna say anybody that you hear on the radio at this point, because like you don't hear about anything except the singles, really. Like a lot of those
Yeah,
pop
I mean,
singers.
I get that because we're back to like where the 50s and the 60s where it's like singles.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Albums didn't really become a thing until probably the
Like the
mid to
60s,
late
70s.
60s.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like when you had like the early prog and stuff like that, like Cream and all those bands.
Right.
I just opened this.
Yardbirds, shit like
Who?
that.
Oh, that
Oh,
that
maybe you pronounce
Jonathan
the Yadbirds. The
the
Yadbirds
that Jonathan Page
is it better?
character and Jeffrey Beck with
Yes.
with a G. Jeffrey
Are
Beck.
Beck and Jeffrey Beck related?
Maybe. Is Jeff Beck a
I think
Scientologist as well?
I was just gonna say I think Beck's a Scientologist. Is oh
Beck is he's a second generation Scientologist,
yeah
but he doesn't practice.
no. So he just like har- a
Gotta have
little
that
less
asterisk
sketchy.
there.
So he's not that much of a piece of shit.
No,
I
no
enjoyed
more
that.
than
I
like
shouldn't say that.
yeah, no more than like a kid who was born like into Catholicism and doesn't practice would be right. Like you don't really choose what your family's religion is. So he's just yeah,
No, you don't.
he's just a guy.
He's just a
I
dude.
don't know
He's where it's at,
Anyway, I don't know if we should go down the religion avenue in this podcast. So
No, because
final
I'll say
question.
child molester at least like 4 times.
Oh yeah, me too. So I get in arguments enough with
Well,
my
especially
parents.
with being from Boston.
I mean, yeah, it's like it's your biggest export besides
I wish I was
St.
touched.
Patrick's Day
No, man, I
parades.
do wish I was touched. I'd have fucking money. I was a cute kid.
Oh God.
Well, yeah, you'd have more Misfits original pressings.
Yeah.
That's true. I would.
Think of all the
I'd be like,
records you could buy. Some of that diocese money.
"Damn, if I was just fucking
You'd,
molested,
you'd have that Black Album from Prince.
I would. God damn it.
Okay. So since
Maybe
this
in
is
another
kind of
life.
taken, a fucked up, grotesque turn, and has turned us into like
Stop
uh,
it.
to willing to be molested to buy more records. This next question. Might be a
All
little
right.
apt.
All right. Those are putting words in my mouth. That's putting words in my mouth. I did not say to buy records. That is just absolutely terrible to say.
Do you regret getting into record collecting?
No. Absolutely not.
Me neither. I don't. Do you, Scott?
Not even when you were loading up to move across the country.
Not even loading up across the country, not even loading up the storage locker to the car, not even when we got a really nice apartment and then it flooded, and then at 2:30 in the morning I had to take my entire record collection out while I was crying and bring it up to my friend's apartment and then bringing it back down to a new apartment. No, I don't regret it.
Wow. So
Your
you
collection's
suffered.
gone through more than mine.
Yeah, you
I
suffered for
did.
the
I
art.
did. My poor Scally Cat Brat record I just found out has water damage. It's fucking terrible.
Yeah, you're blaming me for it,
That
saying
thing
I
is
sent it to you
depreciated
like
in
that.
value now.
It's fucking autographed too, and that kid's like, he's one bad fucking
I don't sign anything.
Tim Hortons order away from fucking ending it. So who knows if I'll get another one of those.
I mean, when I finally do it, though, it'll be worth a lot more.
Remember
When
that
I finally
Canadian
get
kid
sick
that
of
was
this
really
shit.
into the Mahones?
I don't know where
Like
this
literally
like
in.
figure, like this idea of me being really into the Mahones came from. Like,
You love the Mahones.
past tense. Yeah. At one point in my life.
I still can't name one Mahones song.
Going down the bar. Come on.
No, that's
What?
it. That's a Blood for Blood cover.
It's a Judas Priest song.
Um,
Wretched
I mean,
ones, man.
I think we're done with the record talk.
Fluffy or whatever his name is probably wouldn't have done that if he knew Judas Priest made that song.
Fluffy.
Oh, I don't know what his fucking name is. It's beyond me right now. Fluffy or McFlurry. Blizzard, his bandmate Blizzard.
So to move on, I think I
And their bass player Shamrock Shake. That's terrible.
So there's a lot going on in the world of punk rock right now, and I think this week we finally got some news that I know I've been looking forward to, and that's that another Boston band that I like a lot, the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones, are finally going to drop their new record on May 7th. They put out a couple songs ahead of time here. They put out a new one yesterday. They put out that song, The Final Parade, a couple weeks ago, which featured everybody ever in the
I
music
didn't
scene.
listen to it because it was 8 minutes long.
Yeah, it's 8 minutes long. There's a lot to
Boston
digest.
have an 8-minute long song now?
Yes.
Jesus.
And literally everybody that you could ever think of is involved in it in some way, shape, or form.
How many times does Dickie go, ah?
None, I don't think.
No shit. That's
Yeah.
new.
And they're on Hellcat Records now, which is kind of a
That's pretty cool. That's a good label.
yeah.
I feel
It's a move.
I think that's
for
just like
sure.
at this point, is it even a real label though, or is it just like Tim's vanity label where he decides to put out like he'll put out like an Interrupters record, then I'm gonna put out Grade 2, and now he's like, oh, I'm gonna put out Boss Tones.
I thought he only put records of girls he was dating at the time on that label.
Maybe him and Dickie have an item now.
Ken Casey's included in that girls he was dating at the time.
Oh my god.
I hope this show doesn't get a lot of viewers. 'Cause I'm gonna get a lot of angry.
Yeah,
text
like,
messages from people.
Yeah, like I'm sitting here thinking, like, I'm just gonna put
If
up
you do-
raw.
If you do,
like-
please share with the class. Cause
Yeah, I'm just gonna put it up raw and be like, Brenden said it. Like we just gave him the platform. You know.
It doesn't matter. I'll just keep on going. I don't care. We got on my my main podcast, Drunken Opinion. I very much like my best friend say kind of whatever's on my mind. He accidentally dropped a name. He guess he shouldn't have done it, but he dropped a name and he called this guy Coke Boy. He got a text message that was very long that said, dude, I do this, this, and that, and I'm a coach and I have all this shit. You need to take that episode down. And my buddy was like, I'll edit your name out. I'm not fucking taking it down. I mean, it happens.
Jeez.
It's one way of getting some.
I mean, we haven't gotten that far yet. I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think Tim Armstrong's going to message.
I might
you and
have
be
to.
like, yo, man, that's really fucked up. What you said about Hellcat. Not that it's true. Like 100%.
I met him once.
Like
We're cool.
3 different bands is true.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it's really rude. You can't come to see Rancid play Out Come the Wolves. 21st, third anniversary show.
Anyway, let's move on to the next person that Brenden can insult. Speaking of Rancid, Charger is recording new material. So that's Matt Freeman's like side project. Is it supposed to be like, I haven't really listened to a lot of it. It's kind of like Motorheady, like thrash metal-ish, thrash punky kind of stuff, I think. I don't know. Have you guys listened to any of the Charger stuff that came out, like the album?
I have.
And
they're definitely looking for like a Motorhead type of thing. And as far as Rancid side projects go, I like it a lot. I don't know. I don't know. They do a good job with it.
So you heard it here first.
I like
folks.
when he plays bass. I like when he noodles a lot. That's my favorite part.
Yeah. Does he do that in Charger?
Yeah, he's done it
No.
every fucking place he's ever been in.
There's not really a lot of that.
Does he? I don't know. I've never listened to him.
I think though the next item on the docket was the one that Brenden would have more to say, because I know it's a band that he actually
I'm actually
likes a
interested
lot.
in Brendan's opinion on this. Brenden, have you heard of the band called Space Cadet?
No. Maybe.
It features two former members of the Explosion are in this band. They're pretty good. I listened to like a song they put out. Yeah.
Is it Sam and the other guy?
I think so. They put out like a song. They put out a song a couple weeks ago, and they released a new song, and they also have an album coming out on March 26th. So I really like the Explosion. I know you do too, Brenden. This is a little different. It's a little bit more like garagey, like indie punk kind of stuff. But it's I'm interested
Green
to
Day.
see.
Okay, two things here. It's Dave and Matt from the Explosion, and this one features Brian Baker. So I'm pretty into that.
Who's Brian Baker? Was he in a famous band?
Minor Threat, Dag Nasty, Bad Religion.
Like one famous band, right? He was only in one famous band. Okay, well, it wasn't in like a lot of famous bands.
No.
Not Brian Baker.
Was he in Teen Idols as well, or is that just Ian?
No.
Wasn't Minor Threat Teen Idols?
No, like
that was Ian's brother.
Right, it was Ian's brother and Ian and another guy, I guess. But they broke up in Minor Threat.
The fourth member was. Yeah.
Anyway, so we really have nothing to
okay.
say because none of us really know anything about this band, I guess, other than they were in the Explosion.
No.
Okay, well that's
if it sounds anything like Flash, Flash, Flash. Let's go.
That's a good one.
This next one. This next news item. I guess Ben Weasel took time off from assaulting women, and Screeching Weasel are now recording new material. I saw that on Punk News, so I thought I'd throw that in there. I don't know the last time I
Oh,
listened to Screeching Weasel.
I didn't know he was still
You know,
around.
Yeah,
there's a
me
real
neither.
cool club on the other side of town, and you're not part of it. And Ben Weasel is
There
that
was a
man should have given up a long time ago.
there was a time in my life where I really enjoyed the Queers and Screeching Weasel. But that time has passed.
Those are not good bands.
Yeah,
The Queers are another one. I just can't do it. I
They're
think they've
just
played the
real.
same set for 30 years.
They're really not a good band. They never were.
so maybe this new material might, change your mind, Brendan.
Could,
I'm
could
not gonna
spark us,
listen.
you know?
If anybody's listening, it's fucking the Weasel dude because he has nothing better to do. I'm sorry, he's in the studio.
Oh man,
He's
are we
using
gonna get
he's
dragged?
using the same microphones. Yeah, I hope so. I hope
Are
we
we?
do.
Are we gonna get dragged into the Ben
I
Weasel,
think
Joe
I
Queer,
think a lot of people
Bruisers
would jump on
drama?
board with Screeching Weasel.
Yeah,
Getting
I
dragged
don't
into the mud.
understand how they
Yeah.
still get shows booked and stuff. It's kind of weird.
I mean, like I said that about a few bands. But yeah, I don't know.
It's definitely
Yeah, you know, when we pass the point of argument, you know.
So this next one, do you guys,
the tension filled the air.
oh my god, do you guys, do you guys like listen to the X-Ray Specs? Have you listened to the X-Ray Specs at all?
No.
I
Like-
used to spend a lot of time with them when I was younger.
I feel like I've
They were
never really given them
different. They were
a
cool.
fair shake. But there's like a documentary
Are they
coming out
actually
about
recording new
polystyrene.
stuff?
No.
No,
They're-
they're doing a documentary about
yeah.
Polly.
Yeah, polystyrene. There's a documentary
dead?
about her coming out. She is maybe, I don't know.
She died. She definitely died. Yeah, she died like 10 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no shit. Well,
So yeah,
R.I.P.
I don't know about you guys, but like I'll watch any punk documentary, so I'm looking forward to that one.
There's some really
I've sat-
bad ones out there.
I've sat through some terrible
Oh,
ones.
I'll watch them all though.
But I
Yeah,
give them all
of
a
course
try.
you watch them all.
What was really one I really liked that I watched recently was the Salad Days documentary about the DC horrorcore scene and Discord. I thought it was pretty cool because it focused more on like the later years of Discord. It didn't just talk about like Minor Threat and like the early days of hardcore. It went into like emo core and like all that stuff too. So it was a pretty interesting
Right.
documentary.
Where Discord got like a little more eccentric and a little more out there.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's coming out. I can't remember if there's a release date for the documentary.
Oh, I'm sure there is because they got a trailer out for it already. So
For which
March
one?
5th.
the documentary you were just talking about.
So the polystyrene documentary is called "I Am a Cliche," and it's going to be released online in the UK March 5th, and will be available online in North America as part of the South by Southwest Film Festival. Okay, so I'm sure there'll be alternate ways
good.
to acquire that at some point. So yeah,
It'll show up on Amazon Prime eventually.
dude,
They
Amazon
had
Prime has
every
like
documentary over the course of the last year.
Amazon Prime has like a sick music documentary catalog.
They do.
I don't know.
It's really
I don't know
fun.
where that came from.
I watched the Anti-Nowhere League one on there, which I did not think would ever be there.
Yeah, I saw that one too. I thought it was going to be better.
I did
didn't watch
as
it.
well.
Yeah, it was one of those like, oh yeah, cool bands.
The one that
Bands
was
are-
kind of cool was the City Gardens one. I don't know if you've watched that, about the venue
didn't
that
see
was
that
in
one yet.
New Jersey.
I have
That
that
one's
one
cool.
queued up though.
It's definitely worth watching because it's like obviously City Gardens hasn't been a thing in a long time, and they talk with they have a lot of interviews now with the promoter who like is still promoting shows in Jersey, but like on a very different level, and he has like a radio show now, and his record collection is the most absurd looking thing I've ever seen. It's like the entirety of his basement.
Ugh,
Like,
I would absolutely love that.
yeah, It's
But
unbelievable to look at.
then if my house burned down, I would just probably walk into the house with it.
Right.
You just have to have a go bag of records.
Sir, we saved you 2 hours ago. I'm going back in. I don't want to do this. Do you know how long it took me to do that?
There's no restarting.
No, there really isn't. There's some stuff that you can't restart.
No. Yeah, last news item might be more relevant to me than you guys because I enjoy this band, and Brenden, as a forewarning before you say anything too incendiary, these are friends of mine.
College words.
Before you say anything, too offensive or to upset anybody, this is a safe space. The Planet Smashers.
I'm just gonna say that first.
The Planet Smashers are doing a live stream on March 20th from the Horseshoe Tavern in Toronto. It's a ticketed one, so you can go to horseshoetavern.com to get tickets for it. Every time I've seen the Planet Smashers, they've been awesome, and I'm not, just saying that because we're homies, but they're always fun. I don't know like how into the Planet Smashers you are, but like for me, I always I listen to the Planet Smashers like the most out of any of that like era of like third wave ska bands. I don't know about you guys, but
I thought Brenden was going to say something there, but I've spent a little bit of time with the Planet Smashers, not a ton. I remember being in Montreal when they did a show at Pooza, and you went to see the Planet Smashers, and I went to go see Direct Hit. We went two different ways.
And I got extremely drunk and couldn't set up my gear for the show that night. And I punched Mike in the shoulder and stormed off stage 3 songs into our set.
In the middle of the song.
That was the second last Skylicat Brat show for some reason.
Did they finish the show?
They did.
I mean, that's why
and then
I left.
We could not find Mike.
Me. I was sitting on a bench outside the venue. Like, I don't know why you guys couldn't find me. I was on a bench outside the venue.
It was insane. It was insane.
Anyway, yeah. So, Planet Smashers live stream March 20th. I'm interested.
Give it a
those are all good guys.
Listen to they sound
so that's
great.
like last week we had like 5 different live stream announcements in our news segment. So I guess March is like the month of live streams for some reason. Well, all the other ones were Celtic punk bands, so we know why they're doing it in March, but
ugh, God.
Yeah.
No, nay, never again.
You guys want to hear a funny story involving a member of the Planet Smashers?
Yeah.
Okay. So, in 2015, I went to Ireland, and the day I got home, the Planet Smashers were playing at a bar called Mavericks in Ottawa, and it also happened to be the East End Radicals' last show in Ottawa, who are good friends of mine. So I went to the show like right off the plane, and I proceeded to get extremely drunk. And then I was hanging out with the band after at like their hotel, like the bands, and like the trombone player from the Planet.
Cool. Oh my God.
The Planet. I'm really cool. I'm popular. Like, just look at all these bands I know.
So fucking.
The trombone player.
He had to sign every single record.
My copy's not signed. I just want to put that out there.
Wow.
Can I finish my fucking story?
Very rude of you. Oh my God.
I only do it for my real fans.
Sorry.
So I'm extremely drunk, and I remember asking somebody if I could take one of their beers, and they had like a 15-pack of Molson Export in the fridge, and they said sure, and I took like 5 or 6 and left the hotel room. But then he saw me doing it, and like this person, he got really mad at me. But the next day, like I couldn't remember who it was, and I felt so bad. I'm like, man, I stole a bunch of beer from one of the dudes in the Planet Smashers, and like I just felt super guilty about it. But like I asked around, and like nobody remembered like who it was. So yeah, I don't know. Like, so they're like whoever it was, they probably really don't care. Like, you gave it back. Like, you were drunk. It's over. but I felt bad about it for like a year, and then
No,
I
I
ran
feel
into
like
the
there's still like a pissed off trombone player.
well, that's what I'm getting to. So I like a year later, I'm at the 77 festival in Montreal, and I run into Pat, the trombone player, who like I kind of knew because we've hung out before, and like
I
he
guessed
is
it
from the
right.
same area I'm in. Yes. Well, I
How the
mentioned the
fuck
trombone
did
player,
that
didn't I,
happen?
at the start? So
No.
he's talking to me, and we start talking about that show. And he's like, "Man, Mike, I still feel really bad that I got mad at you when you took some of my beers." And I was like, "That was you? I felt bad this whole time that I took your beers." He's like, "Oh, I felt really bad that I got mad at you. I was being a little bitch." So we had this like little moment where like we both got to like get this off our chest that we both felt bad about. I took his beer and he felt bad for getting mad about it, which I feel like
Jesus
I
Christ.
should
I
have
just
felt
want to
bad, and
start
he was
singing "O Canada" right now.
he he was totally justified in being angry. But yeah, that's what I'm getting at. It was like it was a very Canadian moment, I guess. Like I have a feeling that
Sorry
interaction
I
would go
got
down
mad at you.
differently.
So sorry about stealing your beers.
That's exactly how it
Hey,
happened,
at
though.
least you didn't try to pay. At least you didn't successfully pay your tab somewhere with somebody else's credit card.
That's true. It's very true.
Because I did that with Chris's at Royale at the Bruisers.
And then you try to do it again at
Oh,
Bleacher Bar.
yeah,
Did I?
yeah.
Yeah. It was
I
fun.
mean,
That
I
was
was.
funny. I was doing my best Steve Irwin impression that night because we were sitting at a table further away from the bar. I'm like, let's just leave him alone and see if he figures it out. And then I was
I
just
re-
like, oh, he's moving. Oh, he's moving. Oh, nope, he's going back to the bar. Oh, he just asked them if they needed any help behind the bar. He- I know how to do this
I haven't
too.
been that
I
bad.
bartend at places. I know what beer is and drinks. And I can't remember. I think it was Allie, who's the bartender at Bleacher. And she was just like, no, you paid your tab. Like, have a good night. I lost my card. It's in your fucking hand.
Oh, that was a good night.
Whoops.
That was hilarious.
So
Okay. Anyway, I feel like this is a good place to end it. I don't know. We've gone through the news. We talked about records.
We've told some
We're at like
stories.
yeah, we told some stories. So, Brendan, do you have anything you want to plug before you leave? Any social media accounts?
Yeah. Hold on, give me 2 seconds. I didn't plan on doing this, but I should do this, even though there's like just a bunch of Canadian people listening, like your mom or something. I'm on a podcast called Drunken Opinion, based out of Boston, Massachusetts. And yeah, we do a show weekly. We talk about random stuff. And then we talk shit about it. And sometimes I'm drunk, sometimes I'm not. Most likely I'm drunk. And yeah, you can check us out at Drunken Opinion on Instagram, at Bad Drunks at Twitter, Spotify, iTunes, Podomatic, all of those fun, flavorful podcast.
wait, are you guys not
audio
on Google
listening things.
Podcast?
I don't know what the fuck that is.
I didn't either until Mike told me we were on it.
I don't know. It was an option on our distributor thing, so I clicked it.
Google has a podcast. Is it just Jeff Bezos taking
Yeah, it has a
out more?
podcast app. Yeah,
You guys ever do
I
this
think
with your
I
microphone?
think it's through like the Google Play Store.
Did you ever do
Not
this
with a
your
microphone.
mic? Yeah, it's weird.
Not.
Anyways,
I-
yeah. So yeah, if you want to hear me and my three best friends talk a bunch of shit, about serial killers, missing persons. We shit on Phil Spector for a while on an episode. That was fun. But yeah,
Well, he deserves it.
thanks for listening, guys. Appreciate
Awesome.
you guys checking out the podcast.
Yeah,
Scott.
thanks for coming on, Brendan.
Yeah,
Pleasure
Brendan.
to have you.
Our first official guest.
It's
It
nice
was
to
good.
talk to you.
First official guest. One day
Only up
you
from
guys
here.
will delete. One day you guys will delete this episode because you're forced to.
Probably.
When you get Tim Armstrong on the show, and Tim Armstrong's writer is like, "Hey, I don't want you playing that podcast episode where that guy goes, hey, Tim Armstrong has girlfriend problems on that record label. I don't know. I
Okay.
wasn't going anywhere with that.
Clearly. So, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at MikeF613. And Scott, you are at Such a Dangerous on all social media, I believe.
Yep, that's correct.
Yes. So,
Gotta have a little nod to Brain Failure somewhere in my life.
I mean, they're a great band. We should do a podcast on what happened to Brain Failure, because that'd be, I think people like a true crime style podcast on Brain Failure.
That'd be pretty
you
cool.
You got to do it in a British accent though. It's got to be like
Did a
straight
record
up,
Chuck
just
D.
like NPR.
Okay.
Very dry.
Yeah.
Japanese
So,
punk rock band Brand Failure.
First of all, they're from
Take it down.
Beijing, China. They said it at the beginning of every show ever.
Oh, go fuck yourself. I was just saying something. I don't need to
Okay.
be
We are Brain
corrected.
Failure from Beijing, China, and Americans love Chinese food. First thing
We are
they
hate
ever
breed.
said when I
We
saw
are
them.
from Connecticut.
Okay. Next week we're gonna have Dave Barton from the Peelers on to talk about their new album and get into
Rick Barton.
no, Dave Barton.
Rick Barton.
Rick Barton is not welcome on this podcast or
Former
anywhere within
guitar
40
player
feet
of the Continental.
Oh my god. Okay. We're gonna pause and we're gonna do this
Just gonna talk
properly so I can put it at the end of the episode. Okay, Brenden?
Okay. Go ahead.
Next week.
I mean, we're not an original member of the Outlet on the podcast.
Next week we're gonna have Dave Barton from the Peelers
From the Outlets?
on, to talk about their new
Rick Barton's brother from the Outlets?
I fucking hate you. We'll see everybody next week. Have a good night. Brenden will not be on this show ever again.
That
Auf
is
Wiedersehen.
very rude. I thought Canadians were a lot nicer
I would
than
welcome you
that.
back with open arms.
That
We'll see. If you go through
is
a
terrible.
retraining
I'm sorry.
sensitivity course, maybe we'll let you on.
What sensitivity course?
I don't know. I'll make one.
All I said was Rick Barton.
Canadian citizenship.
Oh yeah. I
Okay.
forgot
Next
they're
week, Dave
sensitive up
Barton
there.
from the Peelers. Oh, we're very sensitive. Let's try this for again. Let's try this once more.
And we'll be
Ne-
talking
next-
about their new record.
Next
This
week
delay is just making
on
it worse.
Ramble and Roll, we're gonna have Dave Peeler from the Bartons.
That's as good as we're gonna get, I guess. Everybody have a good night, and I'll see. We'll see.
Thanks
you
so
next
much
week.
for joining us again. We'll
Thanks
see
for
you next
listening.
week.
Bye.